Welcome to the Minnesota Association of Realtors e-video resource. My name is Chris Galler. The issue we're going to talk about today is the first-time homebuyer tax credit, or the reoccurring tax credit for people that have been in their homes at least 5 of the last 8 years. The biggest question we're receiving: what if my buyer and seller agree to a purchase agreement, they sign off on everything, and the bank, because it's a short sale, hasn't approved it yet? What's your guidance? What's your knowledge about that? We've asked NAR, the National Association of Realtors, and they've come back with a written response to it. The IRS is 5405. That's the ruling on it. You can get the Q&A there. You can also get the instructions. But on this particular question, if the property is involved in a short sale, the buyer and seller have signed off, fully executed a purchase agreement that's contingent upon the bank approving, will that still qualify? And NAR has said, to date, the IRS hasn't provided anything official. However, there does seem that there is a case to be made that if the buyer and seller have an agreement as of April 30th that they have both agreed to, then the fact that the bank has not yet approved a short sale is outside of the control of the buyer and seller. While the approval probably does determine whether the transaction is actually completed, the terms of the agreement between the buyer and seller would not have changed due to any action of the buyer or seller. We do feel pretty confident that a contract can contain contingencies so long as the buyer and seller have agreed to the contingencies and that an agreement is included in the written contract documentation as of April 30th. The contract should still be binding even if the contingencies have not been satisfied. Thus, in the circumstance of a short sale, the parties themselves can do nothing to satisfy the contingency, so I think a case can be made that the contract is binding on them. Getting everything within their control in writing and signed before May 1st is the crucial element here. That's the best direction that we have. The goal of the program is to move properties, so it is believed that if the buyer and seller have executed a purchase agreement, both signed off, and are simply awaiting short sale approval, that the buyer would still qualify for the buyer credit. We thank you for joining us today. We hope that you have a great week.